besides this kind of like European tradition, leader and stuff, there seems to be also like a very American and a very Wainwright tradition of singing about your family, kind of this singer-songwriter thing. That seems to be a big tradition in the Wainwrights, isn't it?
It is, yes, it is. For better or for worse. I didn't start it. It started long before I came around. But I don't know, it seems to work in a way because I don't know. I mean, I think one of the sort of blessings that we received, my family, is that none of us were too famous, or made too much money too fast. So there was no superstars. I think that if that was the case, it would be too. It could be conceived as kind of a bitterness, but because we've always been at somewhat of the same level, it makes it more of a dialogue, between artists on the same plane, as opposed to like this jealousy thing, which I don't think it has come across. So I think we're very fortunate. We're very lucky. We're very lucky that we're unsuccessful. Okay.
I don't believe it. Rufus sagt, dass es eigentlich für die Familie sehr gut war, dass eigentlich niemand so ein Superstar geworden ist, bisher zumindest, das kann sich ja noch ändern. Und das hat dazu geführt, dass die Dialoge, die die Familie teilweise miteinander über Songs führt, nichts von sowas wie Ungunst und Neid und so haben, sondern tatsächlich einfach Dialoge zwischen Familienmitgliedern sind, die sich eigentlich wahrscheinlich, da werde ich nochmal genau nachhaken, eigentlich sehr, sehr nahe stehen. Do you think that, like family, you got closer to your family in the last years?
Well, I mean, I'm very close to, especially my sister right now, Martha, more than I ever have been. I mean, we weren't distant before, but with the death of our mother, we've become really reliant on each other on many ways. So we've gotten a lot closer. But we've always been very close, though, the whole family. I don't know. I was always told by my grandmother that you have to love your family, and I'm just following her advice. Just listen to your grandmother. Okay.
Rufus sagt, dass die Familie natürlich durch die Krankheit seiner Mutter noch enger zusammengerückt ist, aber dass sie eigentlich sich immer schon sehr, sehr nahe waren und dass schon seine Großmutter gesagt hat, man muss seine Familie lieben, und das gibt er uns allen mit auf den Weg für den heutigen Abend, obwohl gar nicht Weihnachten ist. Sorry. Your mother saw the premiere of your opera. Was she like the most important audience for that?
Oh yes. No, she saw the premiere of Prima Donna, and that was one of the great accomplishments and moments of my life, and perhaps the greatest to date. She loved it very much, and I don't know, she was yes, very much so. I'm very happy that happened.
Er ist sehr glücklich darüber, dass seine Mutter seine erste Oper noch sehen konnte, weil das für ihn so einer der größten Tage seines Lebens war bisher, in dem er sehr viel erreicht hat und zugleich eben seine Mutter daran teilhaben konnte. She was a big opera fan herself, wasn't she?
Well, I turned her into a big opera fan. Because the opera wasn't that big in our house. They loved a lot of the old tenors from the 50s and stuff, but they didn't know much about opera, so I brought that in, and my mother actually at first was horrified. She kind of hated that I loved opera because she wanted me to listen to the Rolling Stones or something silly like that, but then I brought her over, and we also, we had amazing, about the last year of her life, we had some pretty amazing operatic experiences. In fact, we had my opera, and then after that, and then right before that, we went to Bayreuth and we saw Parsifal. And then at the end, the very last opera she saw, we went to La Scala in Milan, and she saw Orfeo by Monteverdi, and which was, you know, pretty amazing subject matter for, you know, what she was about to go through. So it's very sacred.
Also er sagt, er hat seine Mutter quasi erst dazu gebracht, Oper zu hören. Er sagt, er hat einige sehr, sehr schöne Erfahrungen gemacht mit seiner Mutter, die ihm sehr nahe ging. Die letzte Oper, die sie zusammen gesehen haben, war L'Orfeo von Monteverdi. Ist es Monteverdi? Ah, wow. Bekanntlich ist es die Geschichte von Orpheus und Eurydike, und Eurydike bleibt im Hades zurück, etc. Das passte natürlich alles so ein bisschen auf die Situation seiner Mutter, die sterbenskrank war, und das war wohl sehr bewegend für ihn auch. You dressed up as Verdi when you had your premiere of your opera. Why did you do that?
Well, I did it as an homage to Verdi. I mean, the part of it was for fun, and also, you know, Jorn, my boyfriend, dressed up as Puccini, basically because he looks a little bit like Puccini, and he's very fashionable like Puccini was. But it was fun to do it. But there was also a slightly, I wouldn't say serious meaning, but a heartfelt meaning, because, you know, Verdi, my love of opera started with Verdi. It started with Verdi's Requiem. That was the first piece that ever got me, and when I heard it, it actually became a requiem for kind of my childhood, and after that I was a teenager or something, or for my innocence, and then he's always been, he was my first, and I just finished a biography of his recently, and he was, I don't know, he's still teaching me a lot today, especially how to be somewhat, I don't want to say humble, but he's very self-deprecating in a brilliant way, which I've never been able to do. So I still have a lot to learn from Verdi.
Also er hat sich als Verdi verkleidet bei der Premiere seiner Oper, und sein Freund ist als Puccini gegangen, vor allem weil er ein bisschen aussieht wie Puccini, wie er sagte. Und er sagt, Verdi war für ihn der Erste, der ihn quasi mit wirklich bewegt hat, wenn es um Oper geht, und ist jemand, von dem er immer noch sehr, sehr viel lernen kann. Auch sowas wie Demut. I said humble now,
yeah,
so it's okay, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Because I don't know the other word. So would you say that you're more like in the Lady Gaga tradition or more in the Verdi tradition?
Wow. I thought you were going to say the Wagner or the Verdi, but Lady Gaga or Verdi.
It's harder, isn't it?
Well, I'm trapped in Lady Gaga's. I'm Verdi, trapped in Lady Gaga's body. Something like that.
Also zwischen der Popwelt und der Klassikwelt hat er sich anscheinend noch nicht so richtig entschieden. Er sagt, er sei Verdi eingeschlossen in Lady Gagas Körper.